Today, Precarious plays
Mega Man Battle Network 2.
Oh no, the throttle isn't responding.
That's not what captains sound like.
What do captains sound like?
They sound like they're a wraith awaiting launch orders. Oh no, the throttle isn't responding.
We're losing altitude. 42, Jesus. 42,000, 41,000, 40,000.
And we were so close to Electopia.
What's happened this time?
We're losing altitude at an incredible rate. Look, guys, that's not planes. You can't. Just because the throttle stops, the plane doesn't just drop out of the fucking fuck. Jeez.
So you mean we're falling?
Because the throttle turned off and that was the only thing moving us forward.
We're a car. We're gonna crash. Repair the throttle program ASAP. Yeah,
maybe...
like the wings just kind of like tip up. They're vertical now.
Yeah.
The throttle program's broken, which makes the wings tip straight up and down so that we lose our airfoil. And then this giant metal tube is falling through the sky. And still, it would have a lot of, you know what?
Really tiny wings, no lift.
Yeah, it would just, yeah. Okay, any hoot. We stopped playing Risk, the new version with all of the cool game modes written into it, because it requires you to play against your friends, and we generally don't do well in those situations. I become passive-aggressive.
And I become despondent.
Yeah. And when you're losing, it's even, like, I don't know if it's worse to watch you become despondent as you, like, handily hand everyone's asses to them, or watching you be angry at not winning, you know?
Yeah, I'm never happy.
Yeah, you're not happy when you win, you're not happy when you lose.
Right, anytime it is a competitive game. Because here's the thing. There is a time when I can be happy winning a competitive game. And I'm not kidding, okay? This is very serious.
Okay.
I have to believe that I am playing against a literal villain, and I have to win.
And you play games with your friends.
Right.
And
ever since leaving school, I no longer associate with people. Like, I'm no longer in contact with people that I imagine to be just irredeemable, real-life, mustache-twirling villains. Okay? And that sounds extreme, but if you don't remember the actual real-life villains from your childhood, they were there. They were there, you didn't imagine them. There were some of them.
Yeah.
There were people worthy of the title.
Bullies. Anyway, so since we don't hang with those people anymore, it's just like, let's play D&D where everybody gets to put a story together at the same time. Or Pandemic is fun. There's a winner in Pandemic, but I feel like we're all fighting the same.
No, that's cooperative, isn't it?
Isn't it? Now I'm not sure, because it's been a while since I played Pandemic too, because I played it a lot of times in a very short period. And then I couldn't get anybody new to play with me anymore, and everybody was like, we get it, you fight disease. And I'm like, no, this is the best game.
I think there was an expansion that added a more competitive mode.
Yeah, which is why I didn't get it. I just like Pandemic.
But I'm trying to say that makes me think that I am remembering correctly, and that it is.
Oh, I see.
It is something that is cooperative, generally.
Yeah, I like Pandemic a lot. Remember Ascension? When
Yes.
I thought that was going to be like my card game?
Yeah.
I still think that is my card game, but unfortunately, since I don't get out to hobby shops regularly enough, I don't have like a good group of people that I can consider nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
Like friendly. I don't have a chance to develop any friendly rivalries.
Yeah.
With anyone.
Yeah, and I won't play it with you anymore.
Yeah, I almost beat you. I did beat you, didn't I?
No.
Not yet. Not yet. But I came within
like
5 joules.
No one has ever beaten me, not even the person that taught us how to play.
I know.
No one has ever beaten me, so I can't play it anymore.
Because you can't
That game
lose.
is forever lost to me because after a certain point, right?
Yeah.
It's just after a certain point, it's irresponsible. Like, okay? It's
Yeah.
irresponsible to try to play again.
To try to...
The pressure is too great.
You
It's like-
can't give up your streak.
You
can't do
win
it.
you win the first time you play, and it's like, oh, okay, so I mean it's just familiar to games that I've played before.
Well,
no
and-
big deal.
I've beaten everyone else I've played, so we can't play anymore. So every time somebody new comes into my life, like a new friend, a new frenemy, anybody who is willing to sit down and play a silly card game with me, like this is the one that I bring out. Because I think that it is so fun, but I always beat them because I already know how to play, and I'm not good at like holding back.
And you've been playing against an undefeated master of the game. So hold on, I'm gonna point out
So
that this is
many-
a situation where like it's not like a small number of games. I didn't play this against like the same people like 3 times, and it's like that kind of win streak.
It was like a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people in a lot of different scenarios
Well, and
at
I kept
conventions
making-
and,
I kept
and
making
over a
him play.
period of years. Yeah, and what every time I grew more and more hesitant to sit down to play. And now when you ask, I just say no. I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry.
Well,
I would
it's-
love to play.
It's great because you can
But
play
I
with up to
can't.
4 people.
Because if I were to lose now, it would be devastating. So I can never play that game again.
I have won every game that you were not involved in.
I know, and that's also part of the reason why I can't play anymore. Because I
Oh.
especially can't lose to you. My heart can't take it. I'm sorry that that's so petty,
but it
but
is.
I can't. I can't.
So speaking of other games that are dead to us,
Yeah.
and games that we don't play anymore, let me talk to you about Scrabble. I've never played Scrabble correctly either. Okay, because Scrabble you're supposed to stick to like certain things. And usually you decide whether or not you're playing with proper nouns and stuff like that. Well, my family used to play Scrabble a lot. They were a bunch of nerds, and still are.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always really funny because it would be like an after-dinner game. So my family would get together, have some food, a little bit of wine, most of them, and play Scrabble. And it was really funny because after a while, being in a house with a bunch of overeducated people, we were playing with multiple dictionaries. The house rule ended up being that if there was a dictionary in the house for the language, you were allowed to use words from that language as long as they weren't proper nouns. Like that ended up being the house rule. So at that point, you can just start jamming letters together because my family, especially my grandparents' house, had an extensive library of dictionaries. And anytime somebody would challenge it, we'd have to spend like 30 minutes leafing through tomes to be like, see, it starts with an F and it's in Czechoslovakian. So I love Scrabble.
Do you think I'm
because
gonna make this stuff up? We can check it right here.
Look
We're
at-
gonna fool you take me for.
Look, it was like an episode of Buffy every time because it's like, no, this word arrives on the scene and it is the word, like the villain word of the week, and then we all have to go to the library with Giles and leaf through all the books. and make sure it's real. No, that's not how you spell that. Sometimes they'd argue about, how you spell it, right? No, that's not how you spell it, blah, 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 and then we'd have to spend some time looking it up. And it was, I thought that it was hilarious, but I think that the people playing started to tire of it, and that is not a productive way to play Scrabble. This is not Words with Friends. This is like strange stuff, So it would, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I'll never be able to play Scrabble like with just one English dictionary because it's just less of a research project and that takes some of the joy out of it. That's why I think Bananagrams is so fun because it's a lot more. There aren't any like real turns or anything. So it's like the complete opposite of how I used to play Scrabble, so it's refreshing. It's just like fast, and nobody's looking up words. Everybody's just like, yeah, that's how that's spelled, and it's like.
I think we've spoken about it before, but I just want to point out that justice has been served regarding the Ascension situation,
Yeah.
because I don't think it's possible for me to beat you at Bananagrams.
That might be because I think that I'm dyslexic. I've never found out for sure because it never caused enough of a learning issue for me to be examined. But I think that I'm dyslexic, and I think that ability to recombine letters in different ways in my brain allows me to mix things up out in the world a lot faster. So I'm like good at remixing stuff. But yeah, so that's what. Yeah,
Banana-based hip-hop artist.
Wicked.
No.
Nana.
Stop.
I stopped myself. I heard it's no good. Maybe don't put that in. That was stupid. I like Bananagrams though. It's a good game.
That's the end of that episode. Wicca nana. Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah, I said nana. Nana grams.